I love how it's like, you're live. What's up, everybody? I am Johnny Ray.
And I'm Dan.
And this is 5R Recovery. Man, being an addict is fun. I feel like I'm full like energy today because I got some good sleep.
You mean a recovering addict is fun.
Whatever.
Not an addict.
Oh, yeah. No, not an active addict.
Bro,
I meant like, you know, how we act and how we feel like after being clean. Look at your
yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel today?
Tired.
You look tired.
I am tired, bro. But you know what? It's a good tired. It
ain't
a dope sick tired, so it's okay.
That's a good okay. We have a new member of our family.
Yeah.
Hopefully she'll come and make
She'll be up here shortly, I'm pretty sure.
A beautiful baby girl named Emery has been welcomed into our 5R family, which we're very happy about.
Absolutely.
But Dan is definitely tired from it.
Absolutely. I'm not used to a crying baby in my house anymore.
Really?
Kind of weird.
Does it cry all the time, or how's it?
Nah, just in the middle of the night when it's hungry.
Yeah.
When she's hungry, not it. Sorry. Get myself in trouble here.
Yeah. Look at my glass. It's hot in here. Right? I got the heater on.
Yeah,
my gosh, I'm sweaty. I even shaved for this. Okay, last week I looked really, really sloppy. We'll just do a little touch up on what we're doing here. So we're gonna go live. We're gonna bring recovery to your living room. It looks like Amanda is early, which that is a huge thing. Huge, absolutely wonderful. And she's got good internet service. That deserves a round of applause.
Right, absolutely.
We have an amazing guest with us. That's Jen. Hello, Jen. Say hello. Hi, Jen. We're trying to bring recovery to your living room. Answer questions that are vital in people's recovery. Talk about some tough subjects. Recognize our past. Talk about experiences. We're really just gonna like hit record, like we've been doing,
and have fun.
And just have fun. And talk about random stuff. I do always put together a topic just because I think it's important. But
normally we end up just sitting here answering your questions.
Yeah, just ad-libbing. I mean, I know some people will sign on. It is very warm in here. I feel like I'm a little bit sweaty.
A little bit, yeah.
Thank you all for everybody who participates. The subject today I wanted to talk about was that addiction has all forms. We often get caught up in the fact that addiction has to do with drugs and alcohol,
right.
Like specifically, right? When people hear the word addict, they think he's addicted to meth, or he's addicted to heroin, or he's addicted to alcohol, pills, whatever. But addiction, I believe, is so much deeper than that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can be addicted to anything: food, sex, YouTube.
YouTube is a big
TikTok, and I see it every day at my work. The list goes on: candy, sugar, caffeine. I mean, cigarettes. Right? Oh, that's a big one.
That is a big one.
Just about anything that we can put in our body that makes us feel a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's a better. It can just be I'm satisfied.
Right. The way I describe addiction is that anything that you use other than God to numb or deal with the situation is an addiction.
Very well said.
How does that sound? So like if you are having a bad day at work, it's Gracie. Hi, Gracie. So Fat Pat.
Yeah, what's up?
Coffee. Oh, I do have to have my coffee in the mornings. So just because I don't use meth doesn't mean I'm any less of an addict, right? So like I said, anything that you use or don't use, or you're used to substitute your feelings or deal with your emotions, or can you tell us a brief description of what 5R is before you get started? I sure can, Mom.
Right? You're not going to say no, are you?
What is 5R recovery? 5R recovery, the easiest way to describe it, we're a movement. Ooh,
yeah,
right?
There you go.
Love that. We are a movement of people. We are a network. We are a group of individuals who believe that our story holds the most value in the kingdom of God, but also when helping other addicts get clean.
Out here on the streets, showing them that they're not the only one that's gone through this suffering and everything else, but also being able to show them that you can recover from it. You can change your life. You can do better.
Yeah, for sure. So we at 5R Recovery, we don't make excuses for our past. We're not in any way ashamed of it. We're not an anonymous group, which is another big thing that 5R Recovery believes in. We are open about our past, about all the things that we've done. We talk to people very straightforward. We don't believe in the easy way is the way that will hold the most water.
Right.
We believe in hard work. All the stuff that we do at 5R Recovery is trying to connect people with different organizations and different businesses. We want people to come alongside us and us go along others and stop putting this gap between these different organizations that maybe don't talk to each other.
Right.
I feel like there's this disconnect between like clean and sober living and treatment and getting a job and getting your license and paying off your fines and getting your kids. And we want to be a one-stop shop. And this could be 5 years down the road. I mean, these are not like short-term goals for us. Right. These are long-term goals. So one of the things at 5 Hour Recovery that we started doing was getting like-minded people who have been through some crazy experiences and started bringing them into our group and asking them questions and getting them involved as much as possible with others.
Absolutely.
Because we believe our story being relatable is extremely valuable to helping another addict.
And ourselves.
Sure. Absolutely. Good point, Dan. Yeah. I mean, so Dan was one of the first. You know, Dan and Bo, and Dan was the reason Dan sits next to me is because he's got an amazing story. He works an amazing program. He helps other people get clean. You know, I wanted Dan along my side because of all the stuff that he does for recovery. Not to mention for like just others in general, for his family. And what I found out was that Dan had a lot of resources. Dan had a lot of information about other organizations and other things that people could do and use to get clean. So when it was a good idea, it just made sense for 5 Hour Recovery to latch on to as many people as possible, find out who they are, learn who they are, and bring them into the organization. The cool thing about 5 Hour Recovery is you're a member instantly. Like you become a 5 Hour family member just because you want to be that.
Right. It's not a home group or a sponsor type situation. Yeah. It's a family situation. Once you're in, you're in.
Why do you like 5 Hour, Dan?
I love 5 Hour because, well, you know, it's not just about me helping other people, right? Like going into places such as the diversion center and going out here on the streets and being able to share the things I've been through in my life, such as being molested as a child, hurting people hurting me, and telling these people that we do get past that, right? It helps me telling my story because it also makes me realize that I don't have to hold on to that guilt. Yeah. I don't have to hold on to that shame anymore, you know? And 5 Hour has opened arms ever since I met Johnny. It's been open arms. It's been like, hey, dude, this is what I'm doing. You want to help me out? I've been on board ever since. And I think it's one of the best solutions out there besides NA and AA. And it goes right along with it. Yeah. A lot of people in recovery, especially like myself, I've got over 3 years clean. NA, for me, was a good start.
It is, for sure. It's everybody.
It taught me all my principles and all those things I needed to have. I did my 12 steps. I have a sponsor. I did all that, right? But sitting in those rooms sometimes and just listening to the newcomer come in there and just talking about all this nasty shit I don't want to hear anymore, right? Yeah. Or they'll tell me, oh, I did this, and this to get clean, but they're not explaining how it helped them get clean, right? We're 5 Hour, we're open, man. We don't care.
For sure.
We'll tell you exactly what steps we had to take. Or, you know, I don't know. It's just a wonderful program. And
I love, and Dan, just the way Dan describes it, it's so amazing. So like our Tuesday night meetings, everybody talks, everybody listens.
Absolutely.
What I noticed is that a lot of fellowships and a lot of meetings, they either don't have the time or they don't pick on the people, but a lot of newcomers have stuff to say about a specific topic and then they never get an opportunity to share it.
Right.
I believe it's important for everybody to be able to share what's on their minds right then and there. There are people that are broken that might just want to be heard. So they get an opportunity to be heard at 5 Hour Recovery. Also, we're going to make it perfectly clear when you join 5 Hour Recovery that your recovery is not going to be easy.
Right.
By any means.
Oh, hell no.
There's not going to be this easy, simple answer. Yeah, it's not going to be that way. And why should it be? I guess we're bringing a whole new outlook to why recovery is the way it is nowadays. People believe that, well, I got clean and I screwed up my life for so long that you should have to take care of me and give me all the things that make me survive. It doesn't work that way. It should be, and why should it? I don't believe that 20 years of abuse or treatment of my family in a poor demeanor should be resolved with like 3 months of being clean. Right. Like all the damage I did to my family should just be all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. They trust me again. I stole your car 3 years ago, but can I use your car now? I'm clean after 3 months. Right. That doesn't make any sense.
Honestly, it might happen, but
right.
Probably not.
It's strange. It's like, man, I think that's what 5 Hour does is we're trying to bring a whole new perspective of what recovery looks like. And for most people, it's very, very basic. 5 Hour Recovery is very simplistic in the beginning. It's just, for me, finding food, finding water, finding a shelter over my head, finding a place to learn how to do laundry. Very simplistic, basic things that I didn't know how to do when I was in active addiction.
Getting a job and actually getting up in the morning without having to use dope and go early in the fucking morning sucks.
It does suck. Graham, come here.
Come here, Graham.
Just say hi.
Come here, Graham.
So we right now are at Hireline Oaks, which is, right? It's Hireline Oaks. I hope I always call it.
Hireline Solutions.
Just say hi real quick.
Look your head down here.
We have amazing friends.
We're live on YouTube.
Yep, we're live on YouTube.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
This is Grim, an amazing man with an amazing story. Someday he'll share it with us.
I will someday. Someday
Okay.
I'll give my testimony.
Cool. What do you like about 5R?
The home feel I get, just part of being something, that's amazing. It's so comfortable, and that sounds weird to be able to come into a group and be intimate and up close and honest with everybody about, your story. I haven't shared that with a whole lot of people, but it's okay. Like, I don't feel judged. I can get off whatever I need to get off as far as what I'm struggling with in my recovery. And it's amazing to be able to do that.
So Grim and I actually have known each other for a very, very long time. We actually knew each other in high school.
We did.
So our story is very interesting. He was a good friend of my sister's. We've had all sorts of crazy experiences together, and then we get clean, and he shows up at a 5R meeting one day. Remember that? And it was outside because we were right in the middle of fighting this mask policy. I'll get real with you. And so here comes Grim, and I'm like, is that Grim? Like, and he sits down and he goes, Johnny, this is your meeting? And I'm like, it's not crazy where we've come from.
You're all like, really, dude?
And I'm not going to tell the story of the last time I saw Grim, but it was a brutal story. So the last time I saw him, I'm not going to say the details, it was a completely different world. I mean, we were in a completely different situation. And now here we are in the middle of a parking lot working 5-hour recovery together. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing experience.
So now he's a part of my family here.
It is a small world. Yeah, and you got to see my sister there once.
Yeah.
Hi, Wendy, if you're watching. It's a pretty amazing experience. Yeah. So.
Hi, Wendy.
Yep, if she's watching.
She's watching.
She has a new baby, and Paxton's awesome. I guess we'll have to scroll down, but thank you, Grim. You can stay if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'll be right off the screen.
Okay, I'm going to go like this and scroll.
I love you too, Amanda.
Yes, Amanda, we love you. Absolutely love you. Let's see. Oh, my gosh, it's hot.
Oh, my gosh, here we go.
Okay, I can hear I had internet working, no sound, beautiful. Anything to escape reality and instant gratification. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
that is exactly what addiction is.
That to escape and to receive instant gratification. We want everything now, which is another reason why we're so adamant about things just happening and working for us immediately. But we've got to get that mindset out of our heads, right? It's not going to be an easy journey. You should have to go through pain and struggle and sorrow and difficulty and stress and depression. I mean, God, we asked people, what was one of your house meetings? It was amazing. You went around and said, stress.
Oh yeah.
Love that topic because every single
huge.
person in there is like, I'm stressed out. They should be.
Yeah.
If you're not stressed out about your recovery, man, your life must be pretty good.
If recovery was easy, we'd all do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'd all succeed. We wouldn't even need these programs.
For sure. And I think that people turn to all sorts of stuff like we were talking about. You should always turn to God. That should be always your thing. Always turn to God. Pray, talk to him, read your Bible. Those are things that I believe are essential to being able to getting clean. They might not be for everybody. Not everybody who joins 5-hour recovery is a Christian. It's okay. You don't have to be a Christian to join 5-hour recovery. You don't have to believe in the same thing we believe in. It's okay. We want to welcome all people with all
walks
different
of life.
backgrounds,
right.
all different ethnicities, all that stuff to our group. We want you to feel welcome. We want you to feel happy. We want you to be able to talk about anything that you need to.
You asked me what I really loved about 5R was one of the main things is when I walked in the room, you trusted me from the get-go. Mm-hmm. There wasn't no, let me hear your story first, because that was one of the first things we did. I shared my story, which was very hard to do. Mm-hmm. And you didn't judge me. There's no judgment. Yeah, and the thing about 5R is too, even if you're still getting high, you can come to our meeting.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to talk to you about it, obviously.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk to you about
it. But we're not going to push you away. We're not going to turn you away, ever. Like, that person is the person we're here to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I really love about 5R.
For sure.
We don't discriminate. It doesn't matter. Sex, race, whatever.
Yep, I agree with that. I love people like Dan. I love people like Grim. Jen, do you want to say anything?
You want to hop over here? And I can go get Amy and the baby?
Sure. Okay. Yes.
Be right back.
This would be a great way to. Oh wait, maybe we shouldn't plug your ID. We'll keep your ID on the down low after I just told you we're all live. This is Jen Smith. Love Jen. Hello. Have you ever done this before?
Nope.
Do you feel comfortable doing it? Talk
Sure.
about your recovery a little bit. Tell everybody how you're like a little bit about your story.
So, should I start it like my addiction or
Wherever you want. We're just talking.
So, I was a meth addict. Well, I am an addict to everything. Like
For sure.
I am one. Like I become addicted to food. I become addicted to caffeine, cigarettes, meth. I've had problems with alcohol. I get addicted to people. Like
good one.
obsessive compulsive. Like that is me. Like I'm also one of those people where when I get freaked out, I like to run and hide, and then that is my perfect excuse to use. Or the defiance thing. It's like kind of both.
Yeah.
My last stint, I was doing meth for about 10, 11, 12 years, something like that. I started out living in a house. I've always used it intravenously.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, I was living in a tent. I have a dog, so of course I use that as an excuse not to get clean because I didn't have anybody to watch my dog. And I was dating my boyfriend, Kevin. He went to jail and got out because, he had the meth-induced psychosis really bad.
Yeah.
Really,
talk about what
really-
that is for people who don't know. Because I know there's a couple people on here that probably don't know what a meth-induced psychosis is.
So with the meth-induced psychosis, like from my side of things, it's when, he was hearing voices. He was extremely paranoid. And people with a meth-induced psychosis do not listen to any reason at all. Like
it is scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
He thought people were living underneath our tent. I had a zipper in the tent and I was like hooking up with them, like in the middle of the night with him laying right there.
I'm not trying to laugh, but that is hilarious. It is funny.
Right.
I'm sorry.
And
Okay,
even though there's no zippers on the bottom of the tent, like there was no talking him out of that. It was, and it's really frustrating to be with somebody who, you can't reason with them.
Yeah.
So he had a thing against the cops. And he's kind of facing some legal things with that right now.
Would you be? We don't necessarily want to talk about it. Would you be willing to share your testimony one night on Monday nights?
Yeah.
Okay, that was awesome.
Right.
So this is Jen, lover. We have a new guest coming in here, which is that good, Jen? You good?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
she said
Thank
I'm
you.
ready, my
And I'd love to hear your
introduction.
full. We'd love to have your full story on here. It was absolutely. So, Morgan, do you want to sit down with the baby or? Hi, Morgan.
It's so hard to let her
How
go.
are you?
It's so hard to let her go.
I know. Look at this darling little
I feel like
precious.
Johnny should hold her.
No, I'm sweaty at the moment.
You with your excuses.
I'm just
bro.
gonna
Your
be
Uncle
honest. I'm
Johnny.
sweaty. I know.
Look at
Show
that
the baby to
face.
the camera. Everybody who's, oh my gosh, she is really darling.
I know, right?
That is so awesome. So how was it? How was the baby birth and everything?
It was
You don't have to go into details. I don't think I want
it was pretty easy.
Good.
Except for the first part, I had contractions for like 4 hours straight that were a minute long and 30 seconds to a minute apart. So not a good break for a little bit, but everything else is really
I heard
simple.
you were a trooper and dominated that pregnancy. That's what I heard. I heard from it was like just not a problem. Like
No.
I probably cried more than you did.
Probably.
Dan's like, yeah.
I cried a lot.
Yeah, I bet. And they let Amy
I
in,
still do.
right?
Yeah.
Amy, do you want to come say hi and say how it was for you being in the room and
Squeeze in there behind him.
beautiful robe? Everybody, this is Amy Hillman, Dan's wonderful wife, the grandmother of this amazing baby, Emery. Go ahead, tell us about how it was.
Just joy.
Love it.
Morgan was amazing. Her contractions weren't always the greatest, and so we were able to get that under control because we needed a rhythm, right? Instead of just And so once we got her rhythm under control, she did really good, and I get to own, the fact that she yelled, "Mom!" I can't do it. And then when I said, "Are you sure you don't want to do this naturally?" She said, "I can't do this natural." With this bright red eyes and this.
I can actually imagine it. Like, it just had to be terrifying for everybody in that room.
Yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
she did so good.
Good.
I'm so proud of her. And that baby is like pure unicorn magic, man. I'm telling you.
Love that. She is very, very precious. And she welcomes right into the 5R family. Like I said, we got to get her one little onesie or something with 5R
Yes,
on it.
Or
Yes.
one printed on her hat.
Oh, we can do that too. Let's do that. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing that people get to share these experiences when they get clean. I think this is why I love doing it. Is getting to see people get clean and do these amazing things and like, you having a baby, Morgan, is so awesome. It's so great.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
And none of
the
that, we
next
wouldn't have seen any of it
generation.
if we were still out there.
Right, of course
We wouldn't
not.
have been involved. So,
Right.
yeah.
I feel like I did not miss
Oh,
the most
Daddy.
important day of her life, and that means so much to me.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Because we missed so many fucking days in there, dude, that
Yeah,
were important to her.
for
And
sure.
Yeah.
we almost lost her. So,
For sure.
And when Emery looks at me, she knows me, and it's one of the most.
Oh, Lily,
It's just so joy. It's the only way I know how to explain it. She owns me.
she makes everything okay.
She
Like,
does.
I had a bit of a problem here last night, dude. I walked in, I said, give me that baby.
The baby is like the cure.
Yes.
I'm not joking.
It kept us from irrationally lashing out at people.
That's good.
It
Hey.
calmed me straight down instantly. She fell asleep in my arms, and I'm like, okay, everything's better now.
That's
You
very
know?
cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for showing the camera. You're
Of
awesome,
course.
Morgan. We love you.
What they do?
Yep. Oh my gosh, is that little precious?
He's okay, no cuter than that.
That's for sure. I mean, Paxton's pretty cute. I'll throw up the argument, my sister's baby, but I would say they might be the perfect match.
Right.
Oh man, I'm already setting up their wedding in advance. Awesome.
right.
We are not paying attention to the comments, and I'm sorry. So we better get back involved in this. Let's see. Workings, driving. Pat, thank you, Pat, for timing in. It's awesome. We miss you. We're hoping you can get here soon. Grim, everybody says hello. Happy Saturday, everyone, and good morning, Johnny Ray. Well, good morning to you too. I don't know who a bomb patron 425 is, but thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Thank you very much. I feel like we are seeing the real Grim lately, and that's awesome. Yes, Grim has come a long
He
way,
sure has.
especially if you know the stories that him and I have done together. It's pretty crazy. Cheryl D, it's all about the journey and the learning. Yes, everyone can benefit for sure. Our journey and our story to us, the first R in 5 hour recovery is remembering where we came from.
Yeah.
Our testimony and our story matters. Amy's story matters. What she's gone through is what only she could have gone through, but maybe somebody else can hear her story and
Right.
benefit from it.
Absolutely.
Morgan having this amazing child. She's also had a journey of her own that is different and unique only to Morgan. But there might be somebody out there going through the same thing.
Absolutely.
We believe our story is what matters. Our relatability is what matters. It's extremely valuable in 5R, and that's why learning every single
And
day.
I think also with our story comes different resources too, because a lot of us like mental health. I did a podcast that was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Yeah,
in my
talk
life.
about that and who you did it with.
I did it with Lori Hardy, right?
Who's a legend in the
she's
recovery
amazing.
community.
It's about men who have been molested as a child and the guilt we go through and how we process that guilt and what we do today to get through this day by day. And, you know, it was really hard. That was probably one of the hardest fucking things I've ever done in my life was be able to sit down and tell my story about this shit that happened to me that fucked my brain up my whole life.
Yeah, for sure. And that story is on Facebook. It's in Dan's account. It's on my account. It's on our group chat. It's on our Facebook 5R page. Check it out. It is really, it's definitely deep. It's definitely dark. But the bravery, I keep thinking of bravery in my head every time I think about that story. And you just think about with Dan coming out and talking about that, it gives the opportunity for others to feel just as comfortable coming out about their own.
Absolutely. And that's why I did it.
That's
because
it.
my guilt and my shame consumed me.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
to where I felt that I did something wrong when the truth was I did nothing wrong.
Right. For sure.
And now I can accept that. And here's the biggest part of that. After I was able to do that video and I've done all these videos for you, I've now learned I can forgive him for what he did.
Wow.
Right. And that's fucking hard. I ain't even gonna lie because I wanted to kill. Oh. But
yeah.
Anyways, that's a
You
hard
can talk
thing.
about it.
I don't want to talk about that. It makes me sound like a bad person, and I'm not. Right? I protected myself, and I did some things. I resolved the situation. Okay, that's the best way to put it, right?
Yes, I know what you mean. I know what you really mean. So
I know
I'm
you
good.
do.
Yeah.
And most of these people on here do too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for me, doing this shit is my self-care, my self-healing, right? Doing what I do here that's my recovery, man. That's what keeps me clean, right?
Yeah.
Doing this shit, I miss going to the diversion center, man.
We're going to get back in there.
I know, but
we just
I miss it.
Now that we're bigger in our organization, we've got to bring it before our board and discuss if we're going to do it monthly or we're going to do it every week or we're going to do it every other week.
Twice a week.
Yeah, we've been talking with Claire again, or twice a week. Yeah. It's really just a matter of time. But now that 5R is to the level that we're at, we got to bring it before our people and get a vote on it and make sure that we're not spreading ourselves too thin. And, our message is definitely being heard. We're definitely behind on the comments. I mean, we can keep going. Love you, Jen. That comes from Amanda. Jen just left. Your dog doesn't like me, Jen, but I like you.
Oh, that's Pat.
Why doesn't his dog like Pat? Is it
because he's a big guy.
Because he's a tower of power.
Yeah.
Jen's dog loves me, Pat. So
yeah,
in
me
your
too.
Face.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's kind of real.
Oh, yeah. And then she says, "Oh, my mom says sorry, didn't finish. Is marijuana a gateway drug?"
Yes.
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
So when I first got
question.
clean, I had my green card. They call it a green recovery in NA. I was trying to do that. And it only took me twice of smoking marijuana to go, God, I don't like this feeling. I'm kind of a go guy. I don't like feeling lazy. I like to be able to do my shit, right? That's why I liked meth.
Me too.
So for me, absolutely, it was a gateway drug. That it made me want to go do meth so I could get rid of the feeling it gave me.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I do believe with every drug, it doesn't matter what you're taking, alcohol, pills, whatever it is, eventually it's not going to work good enough. What's going to be the next step, right?
Right.
Oh, I'm going to try this.
Built up. Yep.
And then boom, you're hooked on that. And then this is the next. And it's a vicious cycle. So I believe personally, for me, I think marijuana is a gateway drug.
Absolutely. And so here's the thing. Marijuana is such a touchy subject to people in recovery. And it's something that we have actually talked about at meetings in 5R recovery because there's so many different views and perspectives about how marijuana is treated with people in recovery. For instance, is it a gateway drug? Sure. I think it can be. I think that it's not for every single person.
Right.
Also, I believe marijuana plays a pivotal role when people want to say get off all the medications that they're on.
I agree with that.
So here we are, and different recovery houses have different rules in their recovery house. Would I allow somebody to smoke marijuana in my clean and sober house if the alternative was, say, methadone? Yes, absolutely, because I don't believe that the methadone is I believe it's the lesser of two evils. Do I think that eventually people should stop smoking marijuana altogether? Absolutely. But it also comes to if they're in chronic pain or not. I mean, you have to approach each individual specifically as the individual.
Well, we can use my wife for an example.
Let's talk
She's
about
got lung cancer.
Right.
I condone it. I would rather her smoke edibles, whatever she does, other than going out, eating a bunch of fucking pills, getting hooked on it again, because that's what started our vicious cycle last time, was me being on medication.
Right.
And her taking my pills. And I'm human.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm an addict, man. If there's pills around all the time and I see her feeling good off a pill, I would want to too.
Right.
So this actually helps with her pain, her nausea,
for sure,
everything. And she's functioning.
Right. And I think it comes down to what is our end goal, right? Is our end goal to be completely free and clean off all substances, which is a lot of programs. Ours at 5R Recovery is to be a healthy, happy, productive member of society. So you see those different words. Nowhere in there did it say that I'll give you an example of a good friend of ours, and you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. He's an absolute monster.
Oh God!
When he's
My
using,
best friend.
He's an amazing guy. He's smart. He's compassionate.
Fuck yeah!
But the thing that balances him out is marijuana. So So if our whole goal is to make you happy, healthy, productive members of society, then if that makes him a better person, and it works for him, and he's able to continue working a job and take care of his family and pay his rent and do all these things. Should we take that away when he's going to go to a doctor and they're going to prescribe him something that, in my opinion, is far unhealthier?
Absolutely.
What's the lesser?
And honestly, with him, he had a pill problem too, and it wasn't just pain pills. I'm sorry, I got to put that out there. Pain pills aren't the only fucking pills people get addicted to.
For sure.
Like antipsychotics, footballs. What are they called? Xanny bars. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Shit like that they give all these people who are suffering when this guy, all he had to do is smoke a little marijuana and he's normal.
Right. And now that
well, not normal, but normal for him.
Yeah. And that, again, we don't say that applies to every person. Like, I'm not saying that everybody should go out and smoke pot in order to get clean. That's not what I'm saying. But you'll see a lot of these other programs are very black and white and very specific. I believe each case needs to be handled individually. I think if we're going to start talking about people and start getting to know the individual, that we're going to be able to assess them with the proper way of maybe helping them be long-term, happy, healthy, productive members of society.
Absolutely.
I don't just want you to be clean. I want you to go out and get a job. I want you to go out and pay your bills. I want you to be able to see your kids. I want you to raise your children the way you should raise your children. And I don't think that you putting a specific label on that makes sense. I just don't believe in that. Now, I'm not saying to go out and smoke pot. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Okay, and I'll give you an example. For instance, me, okay? I don't smoke weed. I was a stoner for 20 plus years. I don't smoke weed. And the reason I don't smoke weed is because it makes me want to do meth. It's like what Dan just said, right? I don't like to be down.
Right.
So by me smoking pot, it would make me feel down, which would in turn make me want to use methamphetamine.
Especially when you got two guys that work full time, sometimes 50 hours a week.
Yeah. I mean,
and
exhausted.
are still doing this and doing that.
Yes.
Marijuana is not the answer.
Not for me. Now to think about that. Think about somebody like me who's saying that marijuana is not the answer for me. But we might not think it's we might think it's the answer for you.
Right.
That's another thing about what 5R is we are completely adaptable and interchangeable. Yep. And what you're starting to realize is that CBD, the oil that comes from marijuana, bless you, Morgan. Sorry. That's all right. I got manners. So the CBD, the stuff that's coming out there is starting to revolutionize the world of medicine, right? People are starting to use CBD all the time for things, right? Pain, for depression. Who?
Adam from 5th Street.
Oh, hi. Is that who? Oh my gosh. That's
awesome. Right.
A bomb patron 425. I love your name.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Hi, Adam. No, it's all right. So my whole point is that the CBDs and all the stuff that's coming out every single day is starting to lean towards all natural is far better than pharmaceutical.
Right.
And at 5R Recovery, we are starting to lean that way as well. We are starting to understand that Suboxone has its role. Methadone, I don't like. I don't like all of these different things. Fentanyl killing more people than anything else.
Absolutely.
Morphine is destroying people's lives. These are all these things that are starting to lean towards, well, maybe the natural remedy is far better and greater than the pharmaceutical.
Absolutely. And I believe there are healing properties to marijuana. I've watched it with my wife.
Yes, for sure. And with our friend who seems he is a completely different person.
Right.
So who's to say us to change his life? And it is a sensitive subject. But again, here at 5R Recovery, we don't care.
We don't.
But it's a sensitive subject. We don't care.
We're going to be honest with you. We don't give a
And we're going to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Openly, honestly. Okay. Amanda, we're way behind on our comments.
This family has been through so much struggle and pain. They finally get to enjoy a blessing and a miracle.
Oh, she's talking about Emery. Thank you, Amanda. You're dang right.
Absolutely.
You're darn right. I mean, they've turned it around. I mean, look at all the stuff that they're doing, not just for themselves. They're doing for their community. They're doing everybody in this house. I mean, it's so nice to come on site and instantly see everybody and everybody's happy and working a program. And it's really, really awesome.
You guys are amazing, man. All these questions and comments. I mean, it's hard to keep up with you.
I know, and we got to figure out how we don't have to zoom in like this. I don't want people seeing that close on my face.
Right.
Look at I'm getting fat, dude.
For people my age, it definitely could be a gateway drug.
I don't wear black because I'm depressed. I wear it because I'm fat.
You're absolutely correct, Gracie.
Which one? Who'd you ask? Oh, wait. So Clara, love these stories. Yeah, but we want to read them all.
Right.
Yeah. So go ahead, because it shows.
Okay.
Thank you, Clara, for tuning in. If anybody needs any resources. You go ahead, Dan. You be the reader guy.
Love these stories. Thank you for your sharing. Amanda, thank you, Clara. Oh, yeah. Okay, so where was I? Gracie.
You can read all of them.
Okay, I don't want to read them all.
No, or then don't be the reader guy.
See, bro?
Yeah, I took my glasses off. The reason I'm having you read them is because I can't see.
See how he did that, y'all?
My glasses.
So I'm gonna jump down here to Gracie. Amazing, okay. Amanda. I agree with everything you're saying on here. So for people my age, it definitely could be a gateway drug if they are abusing it. Mm-hmm. I know people who use it for physical pain, but the people who do it just because it's definitely a gateway drug because they're doing it to get high.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I agree.
Yeah, Gracie, and look at it. How old are you? 17 and you know this? I mean, you are years above your age as far as knowledge
Right.
goes. Hopefully we'll have Gracie on here one of these times because
Absolutely.
she's so smart and she has a completely different perspective on it. It's another thing that we really focus on in 5-Hour Recovery. She is the daughter of an addict,
Yeah.
right? I hope it's okay that I say that. A daughter of an addict. I won't be talking about the specifics, but she has a completely different outlook on how she views the world just based on
Along
those
with my
experiences.
children too.
But
It's
look
all-
at look at how smart she is about recognizing what marijuana is. I agree. Again, it goes back to what we talk about at 5-Hour Recovery. If you use anything other than God to numb the effects of your life or to deal with things, then it is an addiction and it's a drug, or it's a problem, right? It's like if you smoke pot because you had a bad day at work, that's not okay. But if you smoke pot because you have physical pain that you can't deal with and they're just going to give you some prescription medication, I would rather you smoke weed.
As long as it doesn't trigger you to do something else.
Of course, which is where I'm at. I don't do it.
Right. And that's something you like. I've had people here with green cards. I'm not going to lie. I do. If there's a good reason behind it, we will allow it. But you have to have a prescription. There's all kinds of rules that go with it.
Yep.
And that is something we explore before we even allow them to do it. Is like, so is this going to trigger? Because a lot of people that smoke marijuana that were heroin addicts, it triggers that want for heroin, right? Because it's a downer. So that is something that you really need to explore before you just go try it. You need to really search inside yourself. Am I capable of doing this without being triggered and going to something else? And if you do get triggered the first time you try it, you need to stop.
Right. And this is all about assessing the individual as a person.
Absolutely.
Right. Every person needs to be treated differently. Every person needs to be assessed in their own way. And it's important that we don't just put everybody who's in recovery in the same box.
Absolutely. Amanda or Val says, hey guys, where was it? I would have loved to join, but I have my children today.
Which is a perfect reason for you not to join. You're with your kids, Val. Like,
and look at this way.
And I went and met them today. They're two amazing children.
They're
Gosh, the daughter's
beautiful.
so
I love them.
cute. They're so cute.
This morning he came over with them
Yeah.
and he was like, say goodbye to Auntie Mel. She's like, bye, Auntie Mo.
She's
So
cute.
good.
So
I walked
adorable.
over there and the son junior headbutted Val, and I mean it was like a part of
miniature
me
Val.
laughed
Yeah,
inside,
100%.
but tried to hold a straight face during it.
Like, don't do that. Don't do that. So I mean, I agree. Val, she says, Val, I think should be on next Saturday and talk about being a single father in recovery. I love that idea.
Great idea. And that's a great topic. And he has all these amazing visions and ideas for opening up clean and sober living facilities for men with children.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of places for women and not so much for men. And maybe that's because of the relationship there between the man and the woman, as far as the women in the state of Washington, for instance, is more likely to get custody.
And I've learned that being on this walk with Val is that he's lost his voucher for housing because they gave it to a girl first who had less clean time than him and wasn't even working the program that he was.
Right. And that's just because, and now let's not make excuses. Let's be perfectly honest. Men are more likely to abandon their children than women.
Absolutely.
Without question. So
Yep.
if you hear what we're saying, we're not in any way, shape, or form defending men
No.
as a whole.
Oh, heck no.
So
No.
but what it's done is it's set, again, this is why 5-hour recovery is so important. What it does is it's set a trend to where men have done it for so long that now it's almost extremely likely that the women will get full custody and the men will have to pay child support. So that when a good man like Val comes along and wants to be with his kids, he already has all this battle that he's got to deal with
Right.
because of other people's experiences.
And it's
That's
hard.
hard.
Absolutely.
It's
It's
kind
really
of like
hard.
that generational curse type stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna and it might not ever change, to be honest, unless some real changes
Or-
made. Oh my God, Alex Carr, we
Yeah.
love you too, bro.
What's up, Alex?
Alex, it's good to
Or
see you.
Guilty by
Miss you, bro.
association.
Yeah, guilty by association, agreed. And sometimes we gotta fight the battles that our generations before us have fought. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest, if I don't have to, I ain't gonna. So yeah, what do you
Amanda
read?
says what they need to get off their drug of choice and become that productive member of society who gets their kids back, who's happy, healthy, and hopeful. Everybody's different. Okay, fair enough.
Right, I agree with that.
That's fair.
Yeah, for sure, Amanda, for sure. And I think like everybody being different and treated as the individual is extremely important. And then Shirley Freeman, I don't know what that is. What does that say?
VOR.RED.
Yep, I don't know what that means.
I don't
But
either.
we'll definitely look into
We'll
it.
check it out. Pat, we can't see the.
What the sing says behind you guys.
Oh, the sign says behind us. That's sing you wrote there, buddy. I
Yeah.
love you. You're a great sponsee. You're
This-
my dude. But you
this-
gotta learn how to.
The signs.
Is it in the frame?
Yeah, that's just so far back. Hey,
we're working on it. All right.
I don't know if you noticed. I got a lot going on, bro. So my production value is not good. My sound quality is not good. We don't have an entrance. We're working on all that stuff. Yes, the sign behind us is 5 Hour Recovery.
I have to send that to you. I forgot.
Yes, for sure. But you've kind of been a little busy with, let's say, a baby, which is kind of a big deal. Okay, who is M. Chambry? Finally have time before work to watch and grateful for your videos. Well, thank you for your support. We love having people just tune in, even if it's just for a minute, even if it's just to say hi. We absolutely love that.
Thank you, Alex.
2 good-looking guys right there. Yeah, with recovery weight.
Well, got moves.
By the way, if you get clean, you'll get fat. Let's just point that out.
It's part of it. It's the fun part.
And you'll lose teeth. I know. Okay, so we'll wait for just a second. I want to talk about a friend of ours just went on an amazing date. She's going to hate me and he's going to hate me for saying this. They went on an amazing date together to get their teeth pulled together.
Oh, yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's a weird date, right?
See, it's not a date, but I was like, I call her up and she's like, yeah, we went and got our teeth pulled together. And I'm like, oh, how romantic. To be 2 people in recovery and going, what do you want to do tonight, honey?
But dude,
should we grab dinner?
So bad, man.
Should we grab dinner and a movie? No, let's go get our teeth pulled tonight. Yeah, honey, that would be great. We can hold hands and maybe they'll light a candle in between each teeth being pulled. It was horrible, right? I know. Sorry. I love you guys. I'm not using their names because I don't want them to be all.
Everybody already knows who.
Okay, it's Lou and Bo.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, keep going.
I don't even know. I'd love Gracie.
I'd love to join
sometime.
Maybe I should
yes,
read,
it's
bro.
totally okay to see that. LOL. Say whatever you want. I'm on it. I'm an open book.
I love that. Thank you, Gracie, because
careful.
you are very inspirational. You and Morgan are definitely going to help create. So at 5 Hour Recovery, if anything that we do that is positive, I mean, I think we do a lot of stuff that's positive. Hi, baby. But what we also like to do is encourage people to chase their dreams in recovery.
Absolutely.
If you have an idea or a program or something that you want to do to help people in recovery, 5 Hour Recovery is willing to lend you our platform to be able to do that. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's see. If you want to start a young adults group, like a young ladies group, like for instance with Gracie and Morgan and Kate and all the people that are in 5 Hour Recovery, you guys can start your own group and use the 5 Hour Recovery platform to be able to talk to other young ladies who are going through the same thing. I'm going to be honest. I can't help a young lady in recovery. Why? Because I'm not a young lady in recovery. And I'm not even going to try.
Sometimes he acts like one, but he's really not.
Bro.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Where was that dig from? But honestly, I don't like to put myself around young ladies in recovery.
Right. Absolutely not.
At all.
That's not our place.
It's just not our place. It's not where we feel comfortable. God, we're already at 41 minutes.
I know,
we could probably do this for a long time. But I don't like to put myself. I don't like to put myself around other young ladies or other young. Hi, baby. You distracted me from talking, darling. It's okay. So I don't feel like I can relate to a young lady in recovery, so I'm not going to be even try to get them connected with me. But can you imagine with Morgan and Gracie and Kate and all of these young ladies who are in 5 Hour Recovery open up their own young ladies group and start helping people through childbirth? I mean, having a baby at a young age, or having parents who are addicts, or whatever it is. I think that's an amazing thing that we can do. And Gracie, yes, we love you. She goes, I'd love to join. Okay, and so back to Amanda. However, I feel like there needs to be more filling the voids with love and fulfillment and hobbies and things to make you happy than medication. For sure. Okay, let's talk about getting clean. When I got clean, I didn't even know what I liked because I knew that I liked drugs. That's all I liked. I knew that I didn't like myself. I didn't know if I liked sports because I always watched them high. I didn't know if I liked skateboarding. I didn't know if I liked anything because all I did was all that stuff high. So we at 5 Hour Recovery want to be able to bring that into the program, right?
Absolutely.
What do you like to do? It's also part of the reborn phase of 5 Hour Recovery. So we remember where we came from. We recover using all resources available. Rejoice by celebrating our life. We become reborn and relive a life of service and helping others. Reborn is setting short-term and long-term goals for ourselves. What are those short-term and long-term goals for yourself? Well, that's going to come from you trying to figure out what you want to do. How do you view life? What are you interested in? It's going to be kind of a big process for you because you know what? I have buddies who love to draw, but haven't picked up a pen and drawn for a long time because they did it when they were high. I think Kyle was on here a couple weeks ago. Oh, no, he was at our meeting. A good friend of mine, one of my best friends in the world, talked about how his inspiration stopped when he stopped getting high. Yeah. You know, getting high encouraged him to draw. And so I keep looking over at the baby and it's like,
it's okay.
I love the baby. How is she doing, the Anne-Marie and her little feet?
I'm good, man. I got the hiccups.
She's so cute, Morgan. Oh
She's
my
perfect
God.
in every way, dude. In every way.
So yes,
You should have seen her with Bo. Bo.
Oh,
Oh
she
my
loves
God.
Bo.
well, God, everybody loves Bo.
Well, I like him.
He's okay. He's okay.
He's
okay,
alright.
so let's keep going.
Do you want me to take her down?
Thank you. I have been researching CBD and THC for years, and I think there is pros and cons for each person. I 100% agree with you, and that's a bomb patron. So you said that's Eric?
Yeah.
Eric, absolutely 100% agree with you.
Or not
There is-
Eric.
there-
It was Alex.
Alex.
Sorry, buddy. Or no. Who was that?
Adam.
Adam.
Sorry, we're
Sorry,
bad
bud.
with names. Adam, I 100% agree with that. There are pros and cons, not just from CBD, but from THC. If you
Absolutely.
will learn something about me, and this is just my personal opinion, this doesn't necessarily reflect 5R. I am very highly against the pharmaceutical industry.
Absolutely.
Okay. I have a lot of deep-seated issues with pharmaceuticals and how they control our world. I'm not saying that they don't serve a purpose, but I am not about an organization giving you another drug, which is what a pharmaceutical medication is, and just getting you off of another drug to be able to line you up with a drug that now you have to purchase from a pharmaceutical company.
Right.
Okay. I don't like that. I believe it. I believe these companies have a different agenda and they treat people like numbers, right? They
Right.
wheel you in and out of the house, right?
Absolutely.
So like you come in, here's Suboxone, you're on your way. Here you come in, here's methadone, you're on your way. And it's because the epidemic is so great that they have found the easiest way to be able to control their time is by prescribing medication to everybody who suffers from a heroin addiction.
Right.
Right. So the easiest form for us to do is go, okay, I'm a doctor. You have a heroin addiction. Here's methadone. Have a good day.
Right.
We'll figure out your balance later, but just let us know. That to me is so
Well, let's keep this real
irresponsible.
too.
Yeah,
Big Pharma is the one that starts a lot of people's addictions
for sure.
with pain medication.
Think about
right?
what fentanyl is and
Oh
think
my
about
God,
where
right?
it came from and think
Oh
about
my
that it is
God.
killing more people. So think
Yeah.
about this. Somewhere along the way, a pharmaceutical company or a doctor or a medical program was like, we need a pill that is 50 times more stronger than morphine. Why do you need a pill that is 50 times stronger than morphine? That's really what it is. And then
Right.
they came out with it and then the FDA approved it. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
we approve fentanyl. Now it kills more people every single year
Yeah.
than any other drug.
Fentanyl is scary. They
Fentanyl
gave-
is so
They
scary.
gave it to me during labor.
Oh my
and
God.
It is
Yeah.
scary.
Talk
It's
about
not-
that. Why did they do that rather
Oh,
than
shit.
go
Because-
escape? Oh shoot. There you go.
No, don't hit escape.
I don't know what he hit. That's okay.
I don't know what I hit either.
Well, here you can use my phone. for
Okay,
once.
that'll work. Thank you.
Um,
Tell Johnny can figure it out.
so
Oh, now he's just hitting buttons. It's awesome.
so for contractions,
oh,
That's cool.
sorry. Keep going, Morgan.
before you get to the epidural or the spinal tap for pain medication, they give you fentanyl. You get 4 doses of it, and you can either have 4 doses of it in low quantities or 2 big doses. And it is scary. It is
Super.
definitely scary.
Did they offer you anything else before the fentanyl?
Ibuprofen?
They offered you ibuprofen, and then they went instantly to fentanyl,
Yes.
not morphine.
Yeah.
Now, so there's got to be some reason why they did fentanyl during childbirth,
Because
right?
it's safe for the baby, supposedly.
Supposedly.
Huh.
I believe that.
But
I
when
totally
when she
believe
came
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
when she came out, she didn't cry at first.
She was just chill.
She was just chill.
Whoa.
And then
So-
I was like, why isn't she crying? Why isn't she crying? And then she went, and then
That
stopped
was
crying.
it.
And she was just,
Whoa. See, and that's
So
going to be
does
something
it get
else.
to the baby? I think so.
Right. And I think this is all something we have to research and look into,
Yeah.
you know, for sure.
Absolutely.
So we missed a
Little
couple.
far.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Later, Alex. Love you, dude. Have a good day
We're
at
way,
work.
we're way up at the top, Dan.
I know. Right there.
Amanda, you should be under the care of a physician. We are not doctors, therefore, this is suggestions or opinion.
Right.
Everybody should have a position that they speak to about these things like that. I agree,
I
Amanda.
agree.
And Amanda and I definitely have some different views on that. But again, that's why she's a huge part of 5R recovery, is because I don't want people to believe that I know the answers. Like, I don't know the answers. And these are just my opinions. These are just my views. I don't want anybody to think that Johnny Ray's way is the way. It's
Absolutely not.
You should be looking into your own way of doing things. But if you ask me my opinion, I'm going to tell you. And I believe the biggest problem in the world right now is pharmaceuticals.
Right. I
In the
agree.
entire world. I think it has more problems
Yep.
and more things, more control, more money.
Easy
All
to
of these
get.
politicians are invested in pharmaceuticals. Why? Because more people take pills. I mean, think about it. How many medications do you take a day? It's really simple. Ask yourself this. Do I take
0.
medications every single day? I take none. So that
Neither.
stands for why I have such a high thing against pharmaceuticals. Also, maybe it's because of my past. You want to know how I got clean? With no treatment and no medication. So to me, I have a different view and perspective on medications and treatments than say somebody who needed treatment or needed medications to get clean. Don't think that I have all the answers.
And don't get us wrong. There are people that do need
for
Suboxone.
sure, of course. And
I've got sponsees that I don't know if they'd be able to do it without it.
Exactly. Right? And as hard as methadone is to take on,
speak of the
to
devil,
get off of heroin, to take methadone, I'm not saying they don't play a role. I'm just saying that you should educate yourself. You should learn all the different options that for you, and not just listen to what everybody says. Okay, let's see. Can you talk about the different drugs and how they affect your body, John? That's for my dad. How much time you got?
Yeah, right.
We're at 49 minutes. We tried to only do half-hour videos, but we're almost to an hour.
Right.
Can I talk about the different drugs? Well, let's see. Let's simplify it. Okay. Opiates are downers. Methamphetamine and coke is uppers. Marijuana is considered a downer.
Yep.
Alcohol, downer.
Yeah.
You know, and when mixed, absolutely
a nightmare.
Yeah, fatal. You know, if you're taking pills and drinking alcohol, your risk of dying is
so.
And
it says, and how do they affect your body once you get clean? I know that we have a lot of residue from our use. That, like me, I had Hep C, and I now have stage 4 liver disease.
Yeah,
you know this is because of my use.
Get over here! Don't just stand over there.
Absolutely, you raise your hand.
Let's bring some more.
Hey, Dad.
yeah. See how my dad's watching. So that's cool.
You know, a lot of designer drugs like benzodiazepine, benzos, you know,
right?
Valium, those kind of things. You know, and then like a lot of prescription drugs. Like I take Suboxone for my whatever I got going on. Well, if you mix those with benzodiazepines, absolutely fatal.
Yeah,
absolutely
for
fatal.
Sure.
Right?
So they UA you just to find out if it's in your system, because it's one time mix up, it can kill you. So
wow.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that.
Thank you, Graham.
That's good. Yeah.
Good.
So that's extremely interesting. Like, and of course, again, I don't know that. I'm glad that you said that. I had no idea.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, like, how many people do you know that take Valium or like?
Right.
I know a lot of people that for anxiety and stuff like that, and they don't realize that some of those combinations.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Graham, because people do that every day. Like, we have a young lady that comes to 5R who admitted openly about making a cocktail of her antipsychotic medication.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
So it does happen every day. And all you're doing at that point is just trading one drug for another.
Exactly. And also, when people say to take it at certain amounts of time during the day, and we're not on a regular. No, I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying anybody is specific. I'm saying in general. No, don't do that. I'm saying that can also mess with you. So if the doctor says take it in the morning, take it at night, you might want to take it the way it's supposed to be taken. And I think that can definitely mess with people. Again, I don't have all the answers. I'm not a doctor. I don't write prescriptions. I refuse to write prescriptions. But 5R Recovery does have doctors on hand. We have good friends who are doctors because they do have medical degrees, and they are all starting to lean more towards the natural way of doing things.
Yep.
CBD oil, THC, marijuana, natural supplements that can help you do the same things that these other pharmaceutical pills will do, but you're not just a number. You can carefully monitor it. And to be honest, the consequences are not as bad as the...
Absolutely. So, Graham, since you're sitting here and you weren't up here during the conversation, how do you feel that marijuana is a gateway drug?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Honestly, the gateway drug that was for me, and I think a lot of younger generation too, it all starts with cigarettes and alcohol, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we start smoking cigarettes because we think it makes us look cool or whatever. And, if you're smoking cigarettes, then you start smoking weed, and then, hey, man, that's how it worked for me.
I think that's how it worked for a lot of us, to be honest. I mean, probably all of us.
And speaking of doctors, and I don't mean to backtrack a little bit, but
no, we love you. Weren't even going to speak today, so this is
I wasn't.
great.
You're on it.
He's like, I'm not going to be on here. And now he's just spitting truth.
When I was talking about benzos and Valium and stuff like that,
just get out of your. I want them to see your face. So
he didn't.
Yeah.
And those are drugs that are prescribed to us by doctors, right? They're socially acceptable. I see a lot of people. Hey, you want a Valium, or especially the older generation,
of course.
And God, what was I going to go with this? Oh, a lot of people don't realize, that when it comes to addiction, it's not just the homeless people underneath the bridge. It's our doctors, it's our police officers, it's our judges, it's our politicians. And it's absolutely a drug is a drug is a drug.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like it's stereotyped, right? To certain people, no, it's
It's everybody.
Which leads to the whole discussion of what we started here with. So I started this whole thing before we got into the questions. I don't even know why I choose a freaking topic because we don't have time. We answer we're almost an hour into it. But the reason we started this today was I believe 5 hour, maybe not 5 hour recovery, but Johnny Ray believes everybody is an addict.
Yep.
Okay. Which is why I believe that addiction is not a disease. Because if we're all addicts, then we all suffer from the same thing, which would make it not a disease. My problem is the word disease, okay? I believe that we all possess the addictive gene. I believe we all are addicted to something, but people get too caught up in the fact that it's like, well, addiction is automatically associated with methamphetamine or heroin or pills.
Right.
It's not. We are all addicts. You want to know how I know that we're all addicts? All the people that are on social media.
Right.
Okay? All the people that do social media, TikTok, all the people that are on Facebook, all the people that are on YouTube. Now think about this. How can you become addicted to, say, social media when social media didn't always exist? Do you want to know how? Influence, which is what I believe is a huge part of people's drug addiction. Influence. What were you around? Were you raised by it? People are like, well, it's hereditary. It's in my genes. I'm not trying to dispute that as necessarily. What I'm saying is that, well, if you saw your dad drink a beer every single day as a child and you're more prone to drink a beer, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a disease. It's an influence, right? Same thing with like social media. Where did this addiction to social media come from? Well, it's influence. We saw it. We started doing it a little bit, and now people are on Facebook 24 hours a day. People are on this TikTok. We just have who's your granddaughter? How old is she?
Just 11.
She's 11, and she's what? Not allowed to use TikTok.
She's not allowed on that shit.
That's crazy. Think about that. So as she doesn't do drugs, she does TikTok. Well, she's an addict,
right? And she was. I mean, it was bad.
Right.
She's doing these dances the older girls are doing. And I'm like, oh,
no.
You're done.
Yep, take that stuff away. So anyway, so that's how just a little bit of insight. Thank you, Grim, who wasn't even going to talk today. A guest appearance.
Awesome.
Someday we'll have different chairs that will swivel in. The camera will be able to zoom.
Maybe a bigger room.
Maybe a bigger room. We have to wrap this up. We have 5 minutes. Let's see. Can you talk about different drugs? We did that, Dad. Alex Carr, Truth. Yes, love Val's ideas. See, I just want to read everybody so they feel included. Unfortunately, Washington State has had a reputation for being man-hating state where kids in custody. Truth. Amanda, we definitely talked about that. Alex Carr got to head to work. Keep up the great work. Thanks. Thank you, brother. We really appreciate all the stuff you do for us. We loved Rooted. We were in Rooted. We should plug Rooted. If you haven't done Rooted, you should do Rooted. How many times did I say Rooted right there?
4.
Probably too many.
I loved Rooted.
Clara Coons, love that. M. Shamry, the Tooth Fairy date. I don't know what that means.
About Bo and Blue.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's hilarious. That's very well said. That's funny. You should be on here. Yeah. Okay, Fat Pat. Look, this is why I felt the last 2 fourths in English. I cannot spell it for you. See, now he's taking it all offensive. Way to dog on him, Dan.
Come on. Don't play the victim. We don't do that.
Don't play the victim, guy. Okay, and then let's see. Amanda, Pat, we will work on the English, laugh out loud. Amanda, and then maybe he can help you, Amanda, show up on time. Oh snap! Burn! Anyway, love you, Amanda. You know that. Thank you, M, for tuning in. Kyle Roseth. I just shared this link throughout my Facebook telling everyone to join the movement. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Absolutely love that. I believe a movement is a great way for us to describe ourselves.
Absolutely. Because
we are moving. We are moving forward. We're moving fast. Yep. Pretty soon people are going to want to work with 5R. You know, they already are, but for a while there, we were looking to who we wanted to latch onto. And now I'm starting to be like, people got to latch on to us.
Right.
If you want to come alongside us and join this journey, this movement, we welcome you with open arms.
But just remember, we're not going to pussyfoot and baby.
For sure. I mean, gosh, I deal with more parents of addicts than actual addicts themselves, because parents call me and they want to know what to do with their kids. And do you know how many times I say kick them out?
Oh, every time.
Every time. Like, if they're in your house, how old are they? How old are they? 30 years old? Okay.
You've done that shit to me.
Yeah, kick them out, bro. Like,
he's like, cut her the fuck off now.
And then, of course, I'll follow up with, I can't possibly imagine what you're going through. I'm not a parent. I don't have children. And so I'm not trying to sound unsympathetic, but you called me and asked me for my opinion. Whether you act on my opinion is entirely up to you. But if they're using your house, you're paying for their phone, they're in active addiction.
That shit's
they're
they're
not going to meetings. They don't have a sponsor. They're not working steps. They're not doing all the things that people should do in their recovery. Kick them out, because they are doing nothing but
you're an enabler.
You're an
enabler. You're just giving them everything they want. Well, why would they quit?
And they always call me, and after they get done talking, they instantly go, "Okay, Johnny, I think I can do that," or and whether they do it or not, that's entirely up to them. Most of the time they don't. And 10 years later, they're going to call me with the same person in their house doing the same exact thing, and it's going to be a struggle.
And the funny thing is children do it to their parents too.
For sure.
My children did it to me.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. So that was great. Thank you, Kyle, for sharing it.
You're awesome.
Let's see, Amanda. Thank you, Kyle. You're awesome. Amanda, in order to get through the first year clean, I had to find out healthy coping skills. I started to spray painting, and she's an amazing artist too, by the way, Amanda is. Yep. I wish she has artist hands. Like every time she comes to a meeting or something, she's got paint on them.
I know. I've seen it.
It's kind of funny.
She's always over there doodling.
Right. Very awesome. Her and Kyle should get together because they're both the most amazing artists. Let's see. In order to get we got that. Pharma is why I got started in addiction.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
same here, Amanda. I started on pain pills.
Wow, really? I didn't know that.
Absolutely. I had spinal cancer, and the doctors were just feeding me.
Dude, that's how Lou was too, right?
Yep.
Didn't Lou start that way? She has bone degenerative disease.
Yep. No, don't get me wrong. I did meth before that, but and I was clean 18 years, and they started giving me these pills, and my addict mindset, it was okay because the doctor was giving me these pills, and of course I wasn't taking them like I'm supposed to.
Of course not. Yeah, and of course, like he said, they were so quick to write prescriptions, and it's so funny because that leads me back to like the gateway drug of marijuana. I started with pot, so. Apparently it was for me, right? Like it was a gateway drug for me.
Absolutely,
until I found meth. And then I didn't want anything to do with pot because I was like, man, I can sleep less. You mean I don't have to sleep as much? Like, I don't have to
all night
all the
long.
time. And then before you know it, your face is sunk in. You have pick marks all over your body. You've lost everything and you're living in a ditch.
At
least that was my story. Okay. So exploring pharma, let's see, exploring natural approach. We're almost done here, people. Okay, let's see.
So Amanda. Let's see.
I just think Amanda should be here because
I wish she was.
I know, I wish she was too. Thing as far as fentanyl using during childbirth, however, so this, I feel like Amanda's talking to the people in the comments.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Absolutely.
So I agree with the environment and the family influence. Preach it, Grim.
Absolutely.
I know, he wasn't even going to be on here.
And he spit some fire.
Amanda was the first one on today at 10:57 from John. Okay.
I know. We saw. Thank you.
I'm just giving her crap, but I'm going to be honest. One time doesn't accumulate 100 times, Dad. So I'm not trying to give,
just busting her balls
on her.
I'm just
busting her balls a little bit. Like we're working on it. Okay. I was a professional person. Amanda, discriminate. Okay, let's see. Fat Pat. I think we're almost. Oh my gosh, we got to the end. I have the best job ever. Thank you, Pat. Naji Malakov Red. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what
it might be a hack. It might be a hack.
I don't know. I think it probably is.
Because it's some random name. Who knows?
That's something we use in excessive to cope with life.
Yes. Should work the 12 step. Of course. Thank you. Okay. So we didn't go through every single comment. Thank you for everybody who participated. Our subject on Tuesday night. Okay. So I guess I should plug all of our stuff.
Right.
So we're going to be going live every Saturday of the week
at 11,
here at Higher Line Oaks Clean. And so we're doing facilities. Okay. Every Monday, we're either going to be at Dave Jackson's house or at New Life Church, and we're going to go live at 7:00. Our lives on Mondays are going to be testimonials. I just threw that in there. Boom. And Monday night will be Melissa's from our 5-hour recovery.
Nice.
Okay, so Melissa's going to come on. She's just recently joined our group. She's got 2.5 years clean, so she's going to give her testimony on Monday night.
Exciting.
Tuesday nights are our 5-hour recovery meetings where we tackle the subjects. We all come up with a subject and we talk about it really in depth, kind of like we're doing now, but we don't answer questions. We all talk and we all listen about a specific subject that we come up with. And I think this Tuesdays is going to be all forms of addiction, like what we just talked about in the beginning, right? What else are people addicted to? Why are they addicted to? What kind of influence are they in their addiction? So on and so forth. So that's going to be on
And
Tuesday
I love those
night.
type of topics because you have so many different opinions in the room.
It's so good to get everybody should not think the same way. And it's kind of our point. We don't want you to think the same way. We're not a cult. We don't want you to drink the Kool-Aid. Yep. We like Kool-Aid, but we don't make you drink it.
Some Kool-Aid.
Some Kool-Aid.
Tang's a little better.
I'm smiling with the middle finger in the air. I love you.
I bet. I would be too.
It's not like she doesn't know her situation. Anyway, so we're almost done. You want to come and say goodbye?
Come on, we're wrapping it up. Come here, honey.
So then Friday nights, we're going to hopefully go back into the diversion center. We're going to try to 1 Sunday out of the month, we're going to speak at 5th Street. One day out of the month, we're going to speak. You okay?
She just lost her breath going upstairs.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, so we'll just wrap this up. We're done. That's it. Thank you, everybody who's been involved.
Thanks for all the good questions.
We probably talked all over the place, and
Yeah, we always do.
yeah,
We love all of you.
we love all of you. Keep tuning
You're
in.
loved and wanted.
You are loved and wanted. And if you guys have real questions or real problems, or if it's your first time tuning in, everyone has an addiction. Some are just worse for you than others. Dad, agreed, 100%. And that's coming from my dad, who's addicted to Facebook. All right. And on that, I love you. Everybody have a good night. We love you. We'll be talking soon. Okay,
Peace.
bye.
You know, we saw your dad
Great
yesterday.
close, dude.